In this video, I'm going to break the freestyle technique down into a simple step-by-step guide. Freestyle, also known as front crawl, is the most popular swimming stroke. Everyone can improve their technique, even the best swimmers. So, here we go. Freestyle is performed on our front, face down, horizontal and parallel to the surface of the water. Our body position is fundamental to reducing drag as we swim through the water. The aim is to be as streamlined as possible throughout. One of the key areas to reducing drag is by focusing on the head position. Often, swimmers will lift their heads to breathe or to look down the pool ahead of them. But this can cause the hips and legs to sink, resulting in increased drag. Instead, you should work on holding your head in relaxed and neutral position, looking down almost directly at the floor below. We'll get onto the breathing aspect very shortly. But first of all, let's discuss the movement of the arms. The hand should enter and start the stroke in front, outstretched and in line with our shoulders. The aim is to pull back through the water, pushing towards our feet and therefore propelling us forward. This starts with what we call the catch at the very front of the stroke as soon as our hand enters the water. The action is simply a slight press down with the hand with a high elbow. Often we liken this action to putting your arm around a barrel so that you can get your elbow up into a nice strong position. Done correctly and you should feel like you have a good purchase of the water and ready to transition into the pull phase. By this point, the hand should be starting to come underneath the head. Here we're looking to have the fingertips pointing down towards the bottom of the pool with our palms facing towards our feet. You want to pull straight back directly underneath the body with a 90 to 120 degree flex in the elbow. Now let's finish the pull phase off. As your hand passes your chest and stomach, you should seamlessly begin extending the arm out while still pushing against the water. As the arm fully extends, the hand will be alongside the hip, ready to begin the recovery phase of the stroke. This starts by lifting the hand and arm out of the water, led by the elbow. Use this forward and outward movement of your elbow to help drive your hand forward. You should aim for the hand to enter the water in line with the shoulder and almost slice down into the water just in front of your head. Then extend the arm out under the water before moving straight into the catch phase again. Of course, you may be wondering how breathing fits into all of this. The key to breathing and swimming is not to hold your breath. You should take a breath in and then you should slowly release and trickle it out until you're next. With freestyle, we breathe to either side of the body. A breath is taken when extending out and catching with one arm and extending out and starting the recovery with the other. This is achieved by rotating both the head and the body to present the mouth to the air. It's important you don't breathe up to the sky. Instead, you should imagine you're trying to keep one eye in the water and one out. Best practice is to breathe to either side to achieve a nice symmetrical stroke. This is normally performed by breathing every 3 strokes. However, if you find you're out of breath, try breathing every 2 and then switching sides every so often. Now for the leg kick, which is just as important. Freestyle kick is an alternating movement of the legs up and down. The movement should mostly come from the hips rather than from the knees. Of course, make sure you have a soft bend in the knee so there is a slight bit of movement, but make sure you're not trying to kick a football for that leg kick movement. So start from the hip, extending all the way through to the flick of the ankle. The kick should also be a fluid up and down movement with both the up and down providing propulsion. And finally, rotation. You may have noticed me mentioning this along with the breathing. This is a tricky skill to master, so in terms of progression, I would always advise that swimmers focus on the fundamentals first. The catch, the pull, the kick, and breathing, and then add in the rotation when they're ready. However, once we do start rotating, you can start to use those large back muscles and essentially get more power into the stroke. It also gives us a little bit more reach on the catch and in turn reduces our surface area through the water. The best way to explain the rotation is that as your hand enters the water and stretches out, you should rotate it onto your side facing away from that extended arm. This should be roughly somewhere between 40 to 70 degrees. Then, as the arm pulls down underwater, start rolling around and back onto your stomach. Then, as the arm extends out of the back of the stroke, use the hand passing your hip as a cue to rotate that hip around to the other side. This should be a seamless action, and crucially, the head, shoulders, and hips should all rotate in sync. Well, there we go, that's the freestyle technique. The main thing is that you focus on one thing at a time. It's very hard to combine all of these together, so take your time with it. If you enjoyed today's video, please do give it a like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.